I just mentioned Patrick McHenry, a key negotiator. He's trying to lock in support for McCarthy for Speaker, and he just said that the House is probably not going to adjourn anytime soon. Are you prepared to go all night?
I'm a combat veteran, served in law enforcement for 30 years. I can be here till July.
And are you, is that a metaphor for how you feel about this? Is your support for McCarthy, there's nothing that can break or shake it at this point?
Well, listen, I don't know if you're aware of, young lady, but I am also a member of the House Freedom Caucus. So I am one of those America First patriots. And I have said to my friends, my colleagues in the Freedom Caucus, that I don't believe that this is the battle we should be waging. I think the real battle starts when we start drafting legislation and policy in the 118th Congress under a Speaker McCarthy. And you have to understand, your viewers have to understand, there's 35 to 40 of us in the House Freedom Caucus. If we have a thin margin of 222 Republicans, it takes 218 of us to pass any legislation, right? The House Freedom Caucus is more relevant than ever. So I believe that is the battle. Those are the conversations that should take place, because Kevin McCarthy understands that in order for him to pass anything in this 118th Congress, he's going to need support and the endorsement from the House Freedom Caucus. And that's when I believe we should have these conversations.
So I'll assume when you called me a young lady, it was a compliment.
Of course it was. This is my first time on the Clinton News Network. Absolutely.
Okay, that I will say was a bit, in my opinion, rude, but I'm glad you're talking to me, and I will treat you with the respect that you deserve.
Sure.
So it appears that Representative Troy Nehls from Texas, he's a Republican member of the House Freedom Caucus. He appeared on Erin Burnett's show over on CNN during the negotiations yesterday, although when you're seeing this, it might be 2 days ago. And so what you saw there is he actually refers to her as a young lady, and she obviously gets offended by it. And so the big question comes down here, was this a kind of disrespectful move on his part in terms of trying to demean and degrade her? Obviously it was. This was definitely a sexist and misogynistic comment that's meant to demean and degrade her status as the host. And she's 46 years old. I don't even think Troy Nehls is much older than her. I mean, Erin Burnett actually, to be fair, doesn't look 46. But it's a dead giveaway when she actually ends up asking him, or telling him, I hope, when you're saying that, it's a compliment, not a sort of attack. But then he says, it's my first time on the Clinton News Network. So again, is CNN the Clinton News Network? Absolutely it is, for sure. But he's on there literally being misogynistic and demeaning and degrading towards a very well-established, woman host on CNN. And so absolutely, yes, this is absolutely meant to be demeaning and degrading in terms of trying to lower the status of the person. I even had seen a Condoleezza Rice interview piece or something where she was saying that, I forget who it was, someone in the administration, whether it was Dick Cheney or Rumsfeld or someone, was saying that, you're very, she's very bright, or you're very bright, or something like that. And she felt slighted too, because it was okay, well, that's not an equality thing. You're trying to basically talk downwards to me and be, shitty towards me and trying to demean and degrade. And that's absolutely what he's doing here, and it's absolutely unacceptable. I'm actually surprised Erin didn't actually respond even stronger. I think she should have gone way, way harder on that and be yo, what the fuck was that, dog? What are you trying to pull here? And at least pressed a little bit more too. And he's saying, oh, definitely was a compliment. What kind of a compliment is that? Young lady. It's not, it's something meant to degrade, to put her below him. It's what a lot of men do out of cowardice and weakness and insecurity and just shittiness, all of those things, right? And so that's what he's trying to do there. So don't get it twisted. That was not in any way a compliment. That wasn't an attack. And what's even weird too is the interview seems to be pretty she seems to be pretty cordial and chill and almost having fun with him. So he's weirdly on the defense/offense while he's on the Clinton News Network. And it's just crazy to see just how misogynistic and sexist these guys are, who are in the Republican Party, and how they view women as lesser and not being able to be as competent. I just saw a Matt Walsh video that I did a video on, where he's saying that women can't understand football, because it's male aggression and all this stuff. But that definitely was not. And I wish, honestly, she had pressed him harder, because he really deserved to be called out and really questioned. And he should have had to have answered more for that comment, because that is absolutely unacceptable. And to demean and degrade like a professional woman host like that is just completely unacceptable. And it's something you see nonstop with, again, like insecure loser men who are very like weak and just insecure about themselves, and so they have to somehow like put women below them somehow. And so that's what he's trying to do here. And it was absolutely an attack, no doubt whatsoever.